Thanks for tuning in to 20s Today. I'm your host, Tony T.
I'm Emily. And I'm Hannah.
So starting off with our taste in current events, Cardi B...
Dude, it's the 20s, remember? Stick to the script.
Oh, sorry. So before we get into news here, I have to tell you guys about a really cool movie I saw the other day.
Was it Phantom of the Opera? I heard that was supposed to be incredible.
No, I actually went and saw Drifters. It was about fishermen, and it was the first documentary released in theaters.
No way! That's so cool. Well, it seems fitting. They say this was the best year that the film industry's ever had. Lots of people started calling it the sound era. Oh, why's that? Well, nobody goes and sees silent films anymore.
Yeah.
All films have synchronized sound. It's so advanced.
They even had the first Academy Awards. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was amazing. I was thrilled that Janet Gaynor won Best Actress. She truly is the best there is. Oh, definitely. She's starring in a new film called Daddy Longlegs. It's going to be released next year, and I bet it'll be quite the film.
Speaking of up-and-coming movies, I think I heard it. We have a very special announcement and segment on the show. J&J Productions has given us a sneak peek at their new feature film, Thrill Ride.
Wow, I wish I could have a real drink with my dinner.
Doll, we can get some when we get home, but with the new prohibition last week, I could go to jail for just having some out.
I know, it just seems like you don't do anything exciting. Wouldn't it be a thrill to just sneak some wine into a restaurant?
Well, it wouldn't be really a thrill if I got arrested, now would it?
Well, that's not good enough for me.
Doll.
Alright, John, cut to the chase. I don't want you doing business in this part of town. If you don't stop, your girl here's gonna die.
Forget about the Drifters movie. Thrill Ride sounds far superior.
I agree, but seriously, enough about the theater stuff.
Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jack because here comes some baseball updates. Last week in sports news, hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Phillies played our home team, the Chicago Cubs, at Wrigley Field. In this 5-game event, the Phillies ended up taking the win. Yes, quite the game to watch. Kept me on the edge of my seat.
It was truly a great game. Before we continue, here is a message from our sponsors.
About Frigidaire, everyone's favorite brand new ice pantry.
So true, Mrs. Doughty. In your Frigidaire cold pantry, there's a place for all your foods. Fresh and frozen, canned, bottled, and wrapped, new bought and leftover. They're all right there, and they're all at your fingertips. See all the wonderful ideas in this Frigidaire cold pantry at your own Frigidaire dealers. It's further proof you get the best when you buy Frigidaire, built and backed by General Motors.
You know, Emily, I saw Ethel wearing the most beautiful dress the other night at the Cotton Club. It was the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. I think it was a flapper dress. They're from a new line that was just introduced to the fashion store down the street. Her dress was amazing, but those dancing skills, she executed the Charleston and the mashed potatoes so well. I was extremely impressed. I feel the same. But I think the music definitely made the dance more riveting to watch.
You know, speaking of great music, jazz has been on the rise after its discovery in African American ensembles and popularization by Louis Armstrong and the Red Hot Peppers. We've especially seen a huge expansion in the genre over at the 20s Today.
We certainly have. You know, our beautiful city of Chicago is often credited as one of the birthplaces of jazz culture. So many of the most famous musicians came from here and continue to play at speakeasies and restaurants in the area. In fact, we have a new song for our listeners today, introducing a brand new artist, Madame Antoinette.
Stars shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper I love you, birds singing in the sycamore tree, dream a little dream of me. Ce souvenir, je te les prends. Des souvenirs comme ça, j'en veux tous les temps. Séparés une vie nous sépare. Je le sauterai der Montelois.
That was truly an amazing piece.
Most definitely. We have an exciting story coming up for you guys next, but first, a message from our sponsor. This time from General Electric Appliances Toastmaster Toaster. The best thing with sliced bread.
Now fix any size toast to order. Thick or thin, long or short, even odd shapes in the General Electric toaster oven that toasts both sides at once, evenly, perfectly, and delivers the toast right into your hand automatically. Yes, perfect toast at a finger's touch, plus the baking convenience of an extra oven. Buy the General Electric toaster oven at your dealer tomorrow.
As Tony mentioned, we have quite the story for you all. We've been receiving reports of a massacre that occurred early last month among the mobsters who run the underbelly of Chicago. Details are just starting to come out, and public authorities have told us that somewhere between 5 and 7 men were gunned down in a garage on the north side.
It is believed that the men originated from the North Side Gang, led by wanted criminal George Moore.
Yes, and although many detectives are still investigating the case, it is widely accepted that the man responsible for this crime was Al Capone himself.
For those who don't know, Al Capone is currently the public enemy #1 for his act. Before now, he was identified as a known crime boss and suspect participant in the bootlegging business.
We're still awaiting updates on this case, and we'll be sure to let you know next week more information about this terrible crime.
Speaking of violence, did you guys see that rally against Prohibition last Tuesday?
I don't think so. Where was it?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that, but I wasn't there. That was crazy.
I think it was around noon and lasted for the whole day. I happened to be passing by, I was just leaving the market, when these people were yelling and hollering. There were all types of people, and it was just crazy. By the way, if any of our listeners out there have been living under a rock for the past few years, Prohibition is a restriction on the selling, making, and distribution of the devil's juice.
Wow, that's intense. I heard police officers and 5 citizens got seriously injured.
I think they brought like empty liquor bottles and were throwing them everywhere.
Sounds like a bunch of dewdroppers to me.
I agree. Although they should have gone a different way about it, I almost felt a bit of American pride. Like they were fighting to change something that they felt wronged them. But tossing empty bottles, probably not the best way to go about it.
True. I was never really a heavy drinker to begin with, so not super worried about it.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a heavy drinker, but a martini in a Manhattan every now and then is nice.
Yeah, I'm more of a Sprite. I mean, whiskey guy myself, but it hasn't like heavily affected me. But for a lot of people, that was their main pastime.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show you how dependent our culture can become on a particular thing.
Yeah, I agree. And as much as we'd like to share more news with you guys, it's time for the commercial-free Jazz Hour.
Thanks for tuning in.
I'm Tony.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Emily.
Signing off.
2, 1, action.
That was truly an amazing piece.
Most definitely.
We have an exciting story coming for you guys right next.
At the north side.
It is believed that the men originated from the North Side Gang, led by wanted criminal.
I stuttered too.
3, 2,
1. I know.
you see, somehow the world will taste of me and be so wonderful. Okay, ready?
Done.
We're done.
Nice.